What's up everybody, I'm Derek, this is Rocking E Forge. Today, I'm gonna make something a little different. Usually I make tools for blacksmithing. You know, chisels, punches, other kinds of punches. But I got to thinking, why relegate myself to the blacksmithing world? Why not branch out into the world of woodworking? And so, putting my steelworking skills to good use, I'm gonna try to make a pretty darn good woodworking chisel and see how it turns out. This is gonna be more experimental and more kind of project focused as opposed to a how-to style video. But after watching this video, if you're looking for more of a how-to style video, let me know in the comments, and if I get enough interest, I'll make one in the future. So there's a little notch right there. I'm gonna lean into having that there. And I'm gonna use that as my transition point from the blade to the tang. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to thicken up what's going to become the tang, because I want a transition point about 1 inch to 1.5 inches back from the blade that becomes kind of a shoulder or an integral bolster if you... That should be plenty for the tang, so I'm going to cut this off, and then I'm going to dabble around with upsetting a little spot here in the center to become my bolster. These cracks, I don't want to forge any deeper and create bigger cold shuts, so that's going to get worked out with the grinder, but otherwise I'd say it's shaping up all right. I'm going to try one thing before I decide to give that up. I don't think that did anything. It was red inside, red-ish, inside the forge. And I don't have access to an oxy-acetylene torch, so what I was trying to do was heat up one little spot in the tang in order to pound down on it and upset that one little spot, which is pretty much impossible to do in the big forge. See what we can do in the good old Hero 2, but I'm not hopeful. If I can maintain the heat here and let the rest of it cool down, I might be okay. I don't think I'm gonna get it. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna keep wasting the time, because honestly I could keep trying and it just won't do me any good. So I'm just gonna draw this tang out, and it's gonna be a simpler punch. Alright, so my new plan for that bolster, I'm going to come in right about here, And I'm going to do the same thing I did at this transition point and chop into it with my guillotine butcher. And I'm going to thin all this out because it is very thick, way too thick for a tang. And then I might try to just blend that in and spread this out in a different way. We'll see how it goes. I'm just going to come in with the fullering dies and squash that area to make it easier to get to. Obviously this tang has gotten way too long again, but I'm just going to hang on to that with my wolf jaw tongs. We'll be alright. It's really important to work those cold shuts out before you forge them into the piece, because that'll be a spot where a crack develops. Nice piece of scale right inside my hand. Good little spot for it. I made it down to 1 inch. Now I'm going to use the crossbeam to thin that out a bit, because 1/4 inch is pretty thick. Considering forging in the bevel, but I think I'd rather grind it in. I think it'll be more accurate that way. So I'm going to make sure everything's straightened up, cut the tang off, let it cool down, and get to grinding. Alright. It's crusty and ugly so far. That's going to get better on the grinder though. Now if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, drop a comment, hit subscribe, ring that notification bell. If you want to support the channel and make sure I can afford to keep making content, please consider becoming an honorary striker on my Patreon, where you get exclusive access to director's cuts of my videos, occasional surveys where you can directly impact the content that I produce, your name or username in the credits of every video I produce from here on out, and more as the channel grows. So thanks for watching, and as always, we'll see you on the next one.